close guard. And we're still working on this outside over grip, so I bump my hips and I close arm. I'm going to swim this over. Or if I get this grip here and then I can pull, I still get the overhook, and I must get to the outside. Okay? I never want to be flat on my back. When you are to the outside here, you have the posture broken down. If Pops is still trying to bring his posture up, I'm going to use my hand to pull him down, or I'm going to grab his collar and pull down. But I want to always make sure I'm not to the side. If I'm not to the side, my body does a pretty good job of keeping his posture down. Notice he had to square up with me to be able to posture. So I want to be here. Today, or this week, we're studying the omoplata. That's the main submission we're going to use, but we're also going to use the position for the submission as a sweeping option. So there's a few things we can do from here. What I'm going to do is I let go of this and I cup the shoulder with my hand, like this. I want to keep my head as far away from Pops as I can so that he can't make a grip on my collar to stop me. So now I'm going to step over. This is the part, there's some details in here I didn't learn under the toe belt that I want y'all to make sure you grasp. As I grab my foot and I pull it over, once it clears his head and touches the mat, I want to make sure I pinch my knees together. If I relax here and just let my leg come over, Pops can posture, which does lead to other things like a omoplata or whatnot. But if I'm really trying to study the omoplata, I want to make sure I pinch my knees, try to posture now, Pops. Should be fairly hard for him to actually be able to posture. Then I'm going to extend, come up to my elbow, and pull my leg out. Once my leg is out from underneath Pops, I'm going to end up grabbing his belt. Making sure his arm stays in my hip. I'm going to straighten my legs. If you notice, I'm on my far butt cheek. I want to switch to my other butt cheek. So as you put your legs out here, you're going to switch to the other butt cheek, and that's what starts to put pressure on Pops' shoulder. This hand can reach for the lapel, the shoulder, the pants, or just keep control of the back here. I like to put my elbow down on the low back to make sure there's pressure there. And as I do that, I'm just going to open my legs and start ratcheting, turning. This foot I push forward. This heel I bring in nice and tight, and I go for my submission here. Any grip here on the far arm is fine. Last night we didn't have the fabric, so we had to make like a seatbelt or an S grip. That's also fine, but we have the fabric now, so this can help you pull yourself up towards your partner, okay? Study this first, then we're going to talk about a couple sweeps. Questions? So again, close guard, go up. I break the grip, and I can then pummel. If I want to make this grip maintain, start to break the posture down, get my overhook out to the side here. Then, again, if I'm close like this, it gives Jeremy an opportunity to grab my gi and frame back up with me in posture, and I don't want that. So I get as far away from that hand as I can. I cup the shoulders, grab my shin and pull it over by his head, pinching my knees together. Again, if my legs are apart, and I'm not squeezing and providing tension here, it's pretty easy for him to posture out of this. So I want to make sure that I am pinching my knees here and extending my body. Now it's going to be pretty hard for him to actually posture up like that. As I'm doing that, I'm going to come up on my elbow, slide my leg out from underneath, straighten, and switch my butt cheeks. Start to open and swing my legs around. I cannot let this hand come over to the other hip. I must keep it in this hip. So if you realize, wow, this isn't tight, it's going to get out. Put your hand on their wrist as you ratchet and lift. I would be trying to put my knee by his ear by going over. I'm also doing this to keep him from forward rolling so that I can keep the omoplata. If he forward rolls, he'll roll out of it. I have a wrist lock here. There's lots of submissions we'll talk about in a minute. But for now, just get to this position, push up, and lean across your partner's body towards their far ear. Yes?
I don't need to keep holding that. seems to get here. If I get to here, then I try to go further. It's not happening. So I don't know. My legs will not out. Yeah.
In this position, just the best you can tell on the back somewhere. But that's the best grip to get in there. Couple good questions. What if questions, as well as what is the best grip to use here to keep them from rolling or cartwheeling over. And the cartwheel doesn't have to be a literal cartwheel. It could be just stepping over your head from like a north-south perspective. So once I get my opponent here, again, just like a triangle, I'm trying to keep Jance's posture now. So once I get this over and pinch my knees together, you don't want to chill here, but it is important to make sure you have a grip here or on your partner to lock them down. I'm not going to be just free while I'm doing this. This is all very, very tight. So then I extend, and then this is the part in this transition where you want to make sure you get a grip. To help yourself up on your elbow, you can go ahead and grab something here, right? And then I'm going to start pulling my knee out like this, keeping my heel tight to my butt. Now, once we get to here, we're having a little trouble, some of us coming up and finishing, right? Or it's really tight, we don't feel like we can push. So to answer your question, the best grip is to flatten Jance out with an underhook or a grip on the pants. So what I like to do is reach back and I just grab the pants. I'm going to shoot my leg out straight, just push pressure on his shoulder, pushing him this way. And I'm going to push my hand in the opposite direction, right? Just like this. I'm just going to lay down to push. And then I sit back up. And I have his back. And this is going to give me more room to sit up. He's dead. Like, for him to escape this, it's going to be very hard. He has to get back up on at least one knee and do either a corkscrew roll or a forward roll to escape. So once you get to here, just up. You can also make a seat belt or a gable grip here, seat belt grip here, grip on the collar. Cool thing about the gi is you can like reach under here for a Superman grip and get the collar. Once you get here, you're not going anywhere. If you have a very flexible person, there is a wrist lock right here. You can just reach back and attack the wrist, or you can come up and choke them with a collar choke. So we have that. This is your normal omoplata. I'm going to show two other techniques we can do with the omoplata position. One's a sweep and one's another submission. This is like your traditional omoplata. You get here, ratchet as far around as you can and sit up. And if they tap there, cool, they tap there. If they don't tap till your knee goes next to their head, cool. You tap them in somewhere in that range. Does that make sense? Okay, come on back up. So first other submission we can do is, if I get to this position, I'm way up here, and I almost got it. And I feel like it's gonna be really hard for me to get my leg out. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna sit up onto my butt, and I'm just gonna leave my leg over here under his armpit, like this. And then I'm gonna bend my knee, send my toes underneath. And all I'm gonna do is just get a grip and start straightening out my legs. Okay, keeping the bar across the shoulder, creating an opening here.
Can you send your left leg or like your foot to your armpit?
So you can. If that's more from like an open guard perspective, like I had spider guard, and I do an omoplata from here, it's very loose. See, this would give me enough space to send this over here. The only thing about that you have to watch out for is if Jance is able to posture here, let me try to posture, and I have my foot in his armpit, there's a toe hold here for me that people have hit on me before, so you have to be aware of that. This one, yes, he can grab my toes over here, but I'm gonna be much, much stronger in straightening out my legs. So I just get perpendicular to him, sit up, straighten out, or go through the whole process like we did a minute ago and just leave your leg underneath him, okay? So that's one technique. Second technique is maybe we get here and I'm not able to stretch him out. I'm not able to finish from here. Something's really tight. Like my knees are messed up and I'm not gonna do it, so I wanna reverse the position. We're gonna land right here. So last night I talked about doing an underhook with this leg, this hand on this leg. The cool thing about the gi is you don't have to do that underhook. You can just grab the other leg, the collar, the pants. I like the pants, and I cheat. I do 2 fingers inside the waist grip here in that hole. It's not illegal, okay? It's not illegal because the pants grip is not illegal. So I just grab there. I'm going to straighten my legs out, hugging Jance's hips to me. I'm just going to pull him right on over like this. You just do a long roll, and you sit up, get the belt off, break your wrist up, and then you just are right over a scarf, and you go there. Okay? Get you good. So again, we're here. So he gets the omoplata over here. I want to show the skates because we are going to study these, but I just want to show them so you can kind of see why these details are important. The best escape, also the worst because it gives you cauliflower ear if someone has a really strong omoplata. You're going to reach for your hand, look at their butt, and you're just going to walk your legs around this way. And I'm going to come up right into their arm and start passing. That's the best one. And this one. This is not as good because it rolls me into an arm bar. Just doing this. See? But it does get me out of the omoplata, and if I know the arm bar's coming, I can avoid it. That is why it's important for Jance to either grab my pants down here by my feet, or my pants here by my butt, or my belt, or something up here. So now I can't forward roll and I can't corkscrew roll. If he grabs the belt, I can still corkscrew roll. So the belt's a good grip to help pull yourself up. The best grip, if Jance sits up, go ahead and sit up, is for him to reach across here and grab my arm or my knee. This is the best grip. I'm not getting out of this. I'm dead. Okay? So then, the option for my escape is for me to press Jance back to his side like this and start to walk myself around. If I can break this grip, let me have this grip real quick. And start to walk myself around over him like this. That's what I mean by cartwheel, because most people do it like this. They knock their partner over on their side and cartwheel. Well, lucky for you guys, if Jance is making any kind of grip over here and I knock him over, watch what he does. He sweeps me, right? So we stop the cartwheel by sweeping. Does that make sense?
Sure.
And you'll feel me, like if you get me in an omoplata, you'll feel me start to try to like stand on my head like this. Because I want to get my feet as high as I can to throw them over you so that you can't sweep me. So if you make any grip on me on the same side nearest you, now when I start to go for my cartwheel, you can sweep me. Just roll me over basically and come up like that. Okay? And that's, to be honest, that's a higher percentage escape doing the cartwheel. It's a better escape because it doesn't put you in that immediate death side. It takes you to that prolonged death where Jance gets to improve his position instead of submit me. So I still lose points. I still don't, come out of a bad position entirely, but I'm out of the submission. Does that make sense?
Sure.
That's why the cartwheel's a better option. If you just walk around your toes, it's the same thing. The roll under is good, but to be honest, if someone has a good understanding of the grips for the omoplata, you're not going to be able to roll out. Okay? So, without knowing and having studied the escapes, what we're going to do is we're going to start right here. Go through the whole thing. So he gets his angle for free right here. I'm going to be on top of this leg. Jance has this foot on the floor, and it's the point where he should be pinching his legs together. He gets all this for free. He is very close to finishing me. Jance's job is going to be to tap me. My job is going to be to try to escape or nullify the submission. Does that make sense?
Sure.
So, just to kind of go for a second. Okay, you ready? Yeah. In all honesty, they should win pretty much every time. Because you're like right there. You're shaving the line of finishing and not finishing. So we're going to start there. The job for this person is to see the urgency of getting your grip so you finish. The job for the other person is just give them some movement, try to escape, try to get your arm free. If you take your arm from this side to this side, they've lost it. Because now I can start working underneath and passing. Okay? So just be aware of that and control the wrist. It's a short round. It's going to be a 3-minute round. It's just going to be back and forth. For y'all, just go 1-1-1. Round and round. Okay?
I'll grab this one. That was the key.
Yeah.